Another day of NBA for Monday. Karl Anthony Towns, he continues to ball out, played some good ball without Mitch Robinson. We've also got Khalil Ware reminding rosterers, owners out there that he's definitely relevant now that he's starting with Bam. And of course, Nikola Jokic puts up another triple-double. We're going to talk about all of Monday's action and give you some Tuesday streaming targets for tomorrow. G'day, everybody. Welcome back to the Ball Logic Fantasy Basketball Podcast. I'm your host, Braino, joined by Flanders in the studio. Flanders kick-started the week, mate, with a 10-game slate of NBA action, and what a day it was. It was there's some big performances across the board.
There was plenty on, and there was plenty on at plenty of times today as well. And yeah, a lot of ins, a lot of outs today, and plenty of guys went off as well, so plenty to talk about.
Definitely. Hopefully you watching this were a recipient of a few of these big performances. And of course, before we dive into those guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up if you do like the content, hit the hype button on YouTube if you're watching us there. And for those of you listening on audio, so you don't have to look at our mugs, smart move, first of all. But secondly, hit that follow button, leave us a 5-star review if you do like the content we're bringing you 6 days a week. Let's move into the rewind, shall we? This will be a rapid recap before we move into the streamers for the Tuesday games. But, mate, Pistons Pacers, a bit of a tongue twister, that one. 122-117. Cade Cunningham and Pascal Siakam were really the two guys that put their hands up in these ones. Jalen Duren was pretty good as usual, but it was 24-11 and 6 for Cade and 24-8 for Pascal Siakam with a couple of steals and a block in there as well. These guys led from the front.
Yeah, 2 steals, 2 blocks for him, and the 3 assists. So he just stuffed a stat sheet there. They're probably the main real notable guys here. Karis LeVert did some things off the bench there. Other than that, over in Detroit, it was Cade and Jalen, and LeVert off the bench really. Ivy come back in. He only played the 11 minutes, but and then on the other side, we had Siakam, we had Jarris Walker do some things off the bench, and Benedict Mathurin, I guess, but that's really about it.
Yeah, Jarris Walker's a bit of a tricky one, isn't he? Because the role was there initially in the starting lineup, and he did a little bit, and then he's dropped back to the bench and actually been better from the bench. So he's hard to get a read on, isn't he? Second game, mate, Cavs and Raptors. Raptors knocked him off 110-99, but BI was the big guy in this one, wasn't he? 37 points, 7 rebounds, and he looked the goods. He kind of reminded us of what he was putting up, the kind of numbers he was putting up a couple of years ago in New Orleans. But good to see him over in Toronto doing the same stuff.
Exactly. No RJ Barrett, so BI was always the guy that was going to get the biggest bump there. He is the one of that starting unit that just loves to ball out and make the most of that usage there. IQ's happy to play a bit more off the ball there, and Scotty Barnes is very good at the defensive end and happy to leave BI do his thing at the offensive end, and BI did BI things. So, I think that's probably the main notable things there. Double-double for Scotty Barnes, a near double-double for Jakob Poeltl with 13 boards there. Sandro Shaleski, he nearly put up a double-double off the bench here too with 12 and 9. So he did pretty well as well. So they're just doing Raptor things out there.
Yeah, making the most of his time off the bench there. Is it Mamakalashvili? He's been pretty good over the last couple of weeks at least. So handy. For the most part, you can only pick. The rule is you can only pick him up and stream him if you can say his name, Flanders. So
gone.
No dice, unfortunately.
No dice.
The Pistons go 15-2 as well. We spoke about before. The Cavs now 12-7 with that loss. Raptors 13-5. So they're starting to make some moves, and we're starting to see these teams separate a little bit on the standings. Mate, the Knicks and the Nets 113-100. The Knicks were the victors. Karl Anthony Towns, though, without Mitchell Robinson, was the guy here, wasn't he? 37-12, put up some really nice numbers. And Noah Clowney, 31 points for him. He's starting to put together some really nice games over the last couple of weeks. I'm really impressed, and I'm a big fan of Noah Clowney's game. I think I've got him in nearly every league because I just kind of went a little bit earlier than most would on him, so it's paying dividends for me. But anyone else stand out for you?
Not really. Like Brunson did Brunson things, 27, 3 and 3. Josh Hart got a plenty of burn there. You would have thought Tibbs was back with the 37.5 minutes that he got out there, and still only put up 7 points there. But this is a Josh Hart stat line there, 7, 12 and 7. But yeah, it's good to know that when Mitch Robb is out, he's the one that steps straight into that starting lineup to get the burn there. Other than that, it's pretty much the usual suspects. Your Yemen did your Yemen things. I don't know why he shot 1 of 8. Just you're like 6'9" or whatever as a point guard. Just go to the rack. Don't just shoot it from deep. Like, come on, man. We know it's not working.
Need a bit of physicality in his game, and that'll come in time, of course.
In time.
Yeah, the Heat got the win over the Mavericks. Still no Anthony Davis in this one, 106-102. PJ Washington was taking advantage of no Anthony Davis in this game. 27 points and 8 boards for him, but Khalil Ware was the standout, wasn't he? 20 points, 18 rebounds and 3 blocks. Nearly got a 20-20 game in this one. Probably making Spo regret chucking him back on the bench now that they're leaning into that Bam at the 4, Ware at the 5. I think that'll stick for the rest of the year by the looks of things.
Yeah, I think it's got to. Obviously, BAM owners will notice the hit that he does take there, especially on the boards. If you're chasing double-doubles, I know I've got him in the $50 league where we're 11 cats deep and double-doubles are one of them. BAM for double-doubles is great, but he's no longer looking as good there. But yeah, it's just something to keep an eye in there. BAM will probably be doing more shooting as well, so probably more out on the three-point line. So just keep an eye out there. He attempted 3 this game, didn't hit any of them. But yeah, that's about it there. Obviously, we've seen Hero back as well here. 24 minutes, 24.7 boards on just under 30 minutes. So he did, pretty good in his return game.
Yeah, great start from him. Very good signs for anybody who's been nice and patient and chucked him in their IL up until now. You'll start to get rewarded over the next few months for sure. The Nuggets beat the Grizzlies as we would have expected. They go to 13-4 on the season, have a 7-2 away record as well. So they're playing some pretty good basketball. Nikola Jokic, 17, 10, and 16. Just a casual, lazy 16 assists for him. The bloke's a freak. Some of the kind of no-look passes he's pulled out over the last 6 to 8 games are just ludicrous. So, good on him. But shout out to the Aussie. We are an Aussie podcast. Shout out to Jock Landale with the 26 points and 10 rebounds against Jokic in this one. Very good signs there for Jock Landale to hopefully find himself some extra minutes over the next couple of months.
Yeah, exactly. He was obviously in the starting lineup, and then obviously with Edie and Jaren Jaxson back, it was interesting to see what sort of role he was going to have there. And to see 30 minutes there, obviously no Edie. Edie didn't return. He was out after sort of 5 minutes into this game, but showed that when given the burn, he is going to be good there. If it's not Memphis this year, he's still proving that he's an Aussie in this league that's going to get some good burn and put up good numbers when he does get the burn. So always good to see there on the heart-to-heart side of things there as an Aussie podcast. But yeah, I think out here it was pretty much the normal guys there, except for who's this Jalen Wells guy and why is he putting up 22? It was very un-Jalen Wells of him. But congratulations to him proving that he can have a good game once in every 10.
Yeah, he started quite cold, hasn't he? Cedric Howard had a pretty quiet game in this one as well, and that's just going to happen with guys like this. Jalen Wells requires, like shooting streaks. Cedric Howard's a rookie. He's going to be up and down for the rest of the year pretty much. But, we know that with Memphis missing Jar, they're relying on Vince Williams Jr. to do a lot of the playmaking, and when you've got an out-of-position guy doing that stuff, you're going to have some pretty ordinary games at times, which they've had here.
Yeah, for sure. The only other guy to look at on the other side of the board is Peyton Watson as well, 27, 5, and 3 with a steal and a block. If he is still living around on your wire, just grab him. He, with no Christian Braun out there for the upcoming future, I am going to be all over him. And with Gordon out as well, it's really solidified that as moving him up the pecking order.
Absolutely. He's been awesome. I have him in every single league I'm in. So, he's not going anywhere. Mate, Trailblazers beat the Bucks 115-103 in this one. Still no Giannis for the Bucks either, but Jeremy Grant wind back the clock. He's basically said, I don't know whether he's waved to Chauncey Billups or replacement coaches, but he's basically said, put me back in the starting lineup. I'm not on the bench. 35 points for him. And Bobby Portis without Giannis putting up 22 points and 6 boards. Who else stood out for you?
Jeremy Grant's plus minus of plus 39. That stands out to me. What? Okay. That's probably about the only thing really there. Miles Turner got the 11 boards there. Ryan Rollins, unconventionally quiet, I guess, 10-5-7, 4 of 14 shooting does kill him a little bit there. But other than that, I think this is just, we know what we're going to expect out of Milwaukee here, and Portland just doing Portland things and waiting on Drew to come back to make that further step again that they did when they had him back. So.
For sure. Denny Avdia, a 22-5-4 game, so not too shabby from him. But of course, relatively inefficient in this one. So, hurts you a tad. For the Bulls and the Pelicans, a big high-scoring game. Apparently, defense just wasn't a thing in this one. 143 to 130, which means there were some points scored. Ayo Dosunmu with 28 points, Josh Giddey 21, Kobe White 24. It all happened there from the guys you would expect to put the points on the board for the Bulls. And then for the Pelicans, it was 29 for Zion, 20 for Trey Murphy, 20 for Sadiq Bey. And then they've shared the points across the bench there too. And a big rebound game for Sadiq Bey and Eves Missy, who with 14 and 13 respectively for them. It's funny, isn't it, when with this game that playing a bit of silly bug as the Pelicans with Derek Queen and Jeremiah Fears playing kind of minimal minutes and not starting the second half. What do you make of that?
I don't make a great deal of it. They are still rookies. Eves Missy is still proving to be good at what he does there, and you do need to share a bit of love around, especially when you know that you're crap. I wouldn't look too much into it. Derek Quinn is very, very young in his career there, and if this is just a way to manage minutes and give him some burn when they want to give him some burn and keep him out there, and if nothing else, prove to him you are the starter, but we just need to manage some minutes here to keep your body intact on a long 82 game season because it's only going to be 82 for him. Don't look too much into that, guys.
For sure. I have a bone to pick with the Bulls as an Atlanta fan, letting the Pelicans win. I'm not impressed, especially when you score 130 and lose. So I'm sure that the Bulls will be going and reevaluating that performance moving forward. It takes them to 9-8 on the season, but Pels 3-15. For the Rockets. Mate. We need that good lottery pick next year. The 11-4 Rockets, they take the win out against the 11-7 Suns, 114 to 92. Amen Thompson, I won't call it a coming out party because we know how good he is, but it's probably one of the first decent, big kind of performances that he's put up this year. He's been good, but without being great. 28 points, 7 boards, 8 assists, 4 steals, and that's what you want from a man. That's what you know he can do. So it's good to see him starting to do that. Obviously, no Kevin Durant in this one. Reed Shepherd got the start and really did nothing with it. 7 points, 1 board, 5 assists, 2 turnovers, 3 steals. But yeah, aside from that, nothing really stands out for the Rockets, so to speak. What about the Phoenix Suns, mate? Who did stuff over there?
Dylan Brooks is doing his best Jalen Green out there with no Jalen Green, putting up 29 points. He was great. He was living around in deep leagues for a long time out there. Picked him up later off wires, 29 points, 3 boards, and a steal for him there, continuing his steal run that he's been on where he's just getting at least 1 steal, and I think almost every game he's played so far this season. So great option there for people needing that. Devin Booker is surprisingly quiet. Only 18, 3 and 5 for him there, a steal and a block there, and only put up the 13 shots. So Nick Richards got the start. Yeah, pretty much buy low on Devin Booker. That is not going to last. He's going to be jacking shots at some point throughout this year. It's just not yet. Nick Richards got the start with no Mark Will today. He fished down the 11 boards there, so a good streaming option, seeing that they are willing to use him there. Was only in the 21 minutes. So other than that, that is about it there. They just didn't have much scoring outside of Dylan Brooks, really.
What a thing. What a thing to say in 2025. Didn't think I'd hear that. The Warriors 134 get the win over the Jazz 117. They go to 10-9. The Jazz go to 5-7. Keontae George, though, just goes from strength to strength, doesn't he? He has been fantastic. 20-odd points, 6 boards, 7 assists. There's a lot to like. 2 steals there too. But aside from that, Lauri Markkanen had a pretty ordinary shooting night. So someone had to pick things up, and it was the youngster, Ace Bailey. 21 points for him, 3 boards, 2 assists, a steal and a block. This is, we know that the ceiling this kid has. It's nice to see it in November. I thought we wouldn't be seeing this kind of ceiling until maybe like Feb. But it's nice to see they've just gone, screw it, let's give this kid some minutes. And didn't they do that? 29 minutes in this one, he balled out.
Yeah, they really have. And there was pretty much Lauri Markkanen and Keontae George, only 2 guys over 30 minutes a game. But of highest to lowest, you're going to go Keontae George, Lauri Markkanen, then straight into Ace Bailey. So they are just burning their guys that Larry's going to be traded, but Keontae George and Ace Bailey are going to be the future of this club out there. And they are just putting time into these guys and go out there and get your bag. And they are going out there and getting their bag. So credit to the boys out there. Slow-mo come out and put up 12, 6, and 6. So good on you, Kyle Anderson, still proving you're somewhat viable to at least talk about. I wouldn't pick him up in anything. What happened on the other side of the board here, though, for the Golden State Warriors, mate?
It was a Steph Curry, wasn't it? Steph Curry
Oh, he was,
things. Goes 50% from the field, shoots 6 from 17 from 3, 31 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, and a steal. 2 blocks for Steph. So, yeah, good little numbers there. Jimmy Butler was pretty stock standard, 18, 6, and 7 for him and a steal. But, mate, the only other kind of relevant option here is Buddy Hield. 20 points there, 5 boards, 4 assists, and a steal for him. So, yeah, the Golden State Warriors doing it a little bit by committee outside of Steph. So, yeah, nothing really stands out, mate.
no.
All right. What do we got? One more
T-Wolves
game.
Kings.
Let's do it. Oh, fucking hell. What a rough game to talk about. Anything with Sacramento just makes me kind of spine tingle a little bit.
There was only one good thing to talk about with Sacramento, and it's so good to see Keegan Murray back.
Yeah. It's great,
Yeah,
isn't it? Like, I think, and the Kings have actively come out and basically said, we want to build around, there's only 2 players we're not going to trade, and that's Nick Clifford and Keegan Murray. Anyone else is available on this roster, and I love that because they just need to. They just need to just call it a day, get rid of their this aging roster, and try and build for the future because the Kings are they're in it up to their neck at the moment, sadly. But the T-Wolves lost to them, so that just tells you where Minnesota is at the moment. Anthony Edwards, he put up 43 points. 7 boards, 4 assists, 3 steals and a block. So he did absolutely everything that he possibly could. No one else went with him. I was hoping for more from Julius Randle, personally. 17 and 10 and 5 is all well and good, but 5 from 13, his efficiency kind of hurts a little bit. You need him to take over a little bit more in games like this where they are behind. They do need to win because it's just not good when you lose against the Kings in general.
No, it's not. And when you look at the team shootings, was 41% for the Wolves and 43% for Sacramento. That just sums up how crap this game was. 40 of 97 and 42 of 97. Like, there was a lot of shots put up here, and no one could hit a damn thing.
Yeah.
It was just crap all around. But I think out of Julius Randle, you'd be wanting 28 and 6, considering what he's done so far to start the year. And no one else is sort of in his pathway to stop that. It's him and Ant really at the moment. Niles Reed's doing good things off the bench. He's, if it wasn't for a few others so far this year, he'd be looking pretty good for his 6th Man of the Year trophy that he seems to love just racking up for fun around here. 15, 7 and a block for him. So he loves that.
Absolutely, he does. Moving on to the Kings, mate. Keegan Murray played 44 minutes. You'd think he just spent half the season out injured. But 44 minutes for him, 26 points, 14 boards. So, and a steal and a block. Very, very good numbers from Keegan Murray. Hopefully you got him off waivers there if people got a bit impatient when he was out. So, but mate, aside from that, it was DeMar DeRozan. He finally got more than 8 shots in a game. He took 16 and hit 9 of them for 33 points. He went 15 from 15 from the free throw line as well. So, can we call him a free throw merchant yet? Or is that only Shea?
That's only Shea and Brunson. Yeah,
gotcha.
I'm willing to throw Brunson in there too. Just, we can't. It's got to be a group. If not, we're singling somebody out. So, and Kizza won't like that. He won't stand for that.
No, you won't. You won't. Malik Monk was good off the bench as well. He took 18 shots, scored 22 points. So, but aside from that, he doesn't really give you anything else but points in this one. But the Kings, they get a dub. Good on them. We won't be seeing a ton more of them. I wouldn't have thought for the rest of the year, but good while it lasts. That is the rapid wrap up for the Monday of games to kickstart the week. Let's have a chat about the Tuesday waiver wire pickups for tomorrow.
Target acquired.
Now, we've got 3 games. Very low volume day tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day to attack. Tomorrow is the day to utilize those waiver claims. Now, we've got the Atlanta Hawks and the Washington Wizards to kick things off. The only notable omission here, obviously, Trae Young, he's still out. Luke Kennard, he is questionable as well, which means that there is a very clear option in Atlanta that I do like as a streaming pickup based on that. But with Washington, Keyshawn George is questionable as well. So it's going to present some opportunities, Flanders, across the board. We'll bring them up on the screen. Cam Whitmore should get some burn. Corey Kisbett as well. If Keyshawn George is out, Kisbett will likely start at shooting guard. And then Vic Krejci is the guy that stands out for me in Atlanta. He's been fantastic for Atlanta when he does get that opportunity, especially with Luke Kennard missing a couple of games over the last week or two. Krejci's, been that kind of pocket rocket scorer off the bench, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's a pocket rocket at like 6'8" or whatever he is, but he's been great, and he's been great over the last few years, and he just sort of knows his role, comes in, does his role, and sort of keeps to himself, which you'll happily take there. I'm a big fan of him looking into Vic Krejci if you can get all all up in that. Cam Whitmore will give you some. He's been giving out some defense stats recently there, but when he gets in his bag, and if they give him a chance to get in his bag, he has a deep bag. They did get him from Houston for a reason, so yeah, look into that. He's probably going to get 20 or so minutes, and I'll be pretty happy with that there. And you should get some nice production out of him.
And of course, Chris Middleton isn't going to be the guy that's going to be demanding 35 minutes a game. Like there's a pathway there for anybody who's backing up Chris Middleton when he's asked to play the power forward, and that'll be Cam Whitmore, I would assume. Bilal Koulibaly's actually played some small ball 5 centre when Alex Sarr's been off the court too for the Wizards. So yeah, there's definitely some minutes to go around there at that small forward, power forward spot. And of course, if Keyshawn George does miss tomorrow, that opens up some extra minutes for Kisbet as well. He was pretty good in their most recent game yesterday as well. I think he put up 20 points and did some good things. So definitely have a look at those guys. Let's move on to Atlanta and the Philly 76ers. Orlando, I should say. The Magic and the 76ers now. Orlando, they've got Paolo Banchero. He's still out. Mo Wagner, he is still out. But it's Tristan da Silva. He is the obvious pickup there for the Orlando Magic. For the Philadelphia 76ers, we do see Justin Edwards moving into the starting lineup with Paul George playing the power forward. But, mate, I'll let you talk about your boy because he's probably the best pickup considering he'll get the start tomorrow.
Oh, Quentin Grimes. Like, how can you not look at this man? I picked him up in my last pick or two. I picked up Jared McCain and got the handcuff there for a bit, seeing what it'd be when he comes back. But Q has just been wonderful. He's been coming off the bench. He's been getting, 25, 30 minutes pretty comfortably every game. He's been finishing a lot of games for Philly as well, which is quite notable. He's been putting up 25 and 5, and I'll happily take that out of a guy I picked up with picks 140. He is good given the right chance, and he proved it last year when he got traded, and then showed out at the end of last year with obviously no Jared McCain there, and slotted straight into that lineup with no VJ as well. I am big all over Q Grimes, so he is a streaming target if he's available. But if you're in a league with me, I can tell you he's not available.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we're missing a Dembona in this game as well. Andre Drummond will likely shift back to the bench if Joel Embiid will play, which he is questionable for this one. So if Joel Embiid doesn't play, Andre Drummond's going to have to play some big minutes there at the 5. So worth keeping an eye out for Drummond if somebody kind of got a bit, got a bit ahead of themselves and dropped Drummond, expecting Embiid to be back. So just keep an eye on what that looks like pre-game. But that is pretty much it for Orlando versus Philly. Now, the last game, the LA Derby, it is the Lakers versus the Clippers. And, I guess there's not really any changes for the Clippers. Bogdanovic is questionable for this one. So I'd keep an eye out on that. If he comes into this game, I do like him as a waiver wire pickup for the Clippers. But it's Chris Dunn, basically, for the Clippers. No DeAndre Ayton. He's been ruled out for the Lakers, Flanders. So Jaxson Hayes. Don't know what your appetite for risk is, but he could do some things. Not good things, but he'll do some things for your team.
Oh, yeah, he might put you the Tony Snell stat line there of just donuts and minutes, but he's still going to do more than what he does currently. So if you are chasing a center because you do need a center spot and you may be able to run him for a few games this week to patch some holes, yeah, Jaxson Hayes could be one of those guys that you do run if Ayton's out any longer than just this one game. But I'm a big fan of Jaxson Hayes. Has got to do something here. Other than that, there's not really much that comes off the bench here. Rui does live around on some waiver wires as well and can do some things. He's probably in line to get a few more boards as well with no Ayton lying around because Jaxson Hayes isn't known as a guy that loves to crash the boards. He'll get some, but he's not going to get all of them.
Yeah. Yes, but I mean, LeBron's back as well. I'm sure he'll snag a few to get those stats up. So shout out LeBron. Rui Hachimura as well. If he's floating around on your waiver wire, you can grab him, and he'll get you some points and threes tomorrow if you need those in category leagues. That is the 3 games. Very short little waiver wire spiel this Tuesday. I'll give you the spread, Flanders, and we'll try and pick who's going to cover the spread to finish things up. Atlanta, Washington. The spread's Atlanta minus 10.5. Which way are you swinging there?
I reckon Atlanta will cover that.
Ooh, spicy.
Yeah, I reckon they will. Yeah, I like Washington, but I do think Atlanta is going to cover that. Not by much, but I reckon probably 12.
Yeah, right. Okay. All right. We're going to Atlanta cover the spread. I think it's hard because I don't trust my own team. I never do. They're just so hot and cold. I think that line is maybe a couple of points inflated. I would have been happy to take 8.5, 9, but I don't know whether 10.5. Washington suck though, so I'll just back us in.
Yep.
You got to go over.
Yeah, you're right.
Orlando and Philly, mate. The spread is Orlando -1.5, so pretty close game. Maxi probable, Paul George probable, Embiid questionable in this one. Are you taking Atlanta or Orlando, I should say, to cover 1.5?
At that point, you're just basically picking who wins at this point. And I reckon Orlando, I've got it. Franz is going to have a good matchup there. I reckon he's going to get a lot of Edwards there. Tristan Da Silva is probably going to try do a bit on George, and I reckon George and Embiid, even if they play, are going to be heavily minutes limited. So it doesn't stress me too much. And if anything, I do reckon Maxi may rest. He is listed as probable, but it could be the time that he does get a bit of a game off. But we shall see. Either way, I like him with Suggs and Bain back in the side, so I will have him to cover, thanks.
If Maxi plays, I'll be taking his points. Orlando concede a lot of points to point guards. I think they're like bottom 3, so definitely something I'll be looking at. And with the Clippers and the Lakers, mate, the Lakers have -5.5 spread. I personally will be taking that. Kawhi's back in this one, but the Lakers and Clippers usually always seem to get the wood over him, but Luka, LeBron both in this one. Austin Reeves, he's healthy now. Regardless of whether they have 8 or not, I think the Lakers are going to cover 5.5. What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon they will. I think obviously Kawhi is making his return as well. Notably in this game, probably something we didn't touch on too much. He does make his return, but again, Kawhi is very injury prone. So if they take the easy route with him and hopefully minutes limit him, if this starts to be a bit of a blowout, I wouldn't be shocked there. So keep an eye out for that. So I reckon the Lakers cover as well.
Love it. There you go. That's our projections for the days. You got waiver claims. You got a bit of a wrap up from the Monday NBA, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Obviously, if you want more from us and you don't want to miss any future shows, hit the subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up to help it get out the show to more people. And for those of you on audio, follow and review. We would love that if you do like the content. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be back for tomorrow's wrap up and a look into Wednesday's NBA. We'll see you then.
See you guys.